What's up, guys? This is episode 26, and welcome back to another impressions video. My last and final impressions video. I was gonna upload one, but you know what? I'm just gonna let it all out here. So yeah, I finally beat Shin Megami Tensei IV. This was this was a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. Everything about it was just great. But I do have to point out some flaws, such as getting money and the demon fusion summon, because that kind of sucked. But you know what? I did got the proper demons. So, well, if they're wondering which ending did I chose, I was going for law. And even though, I kind of felt bad for the city of Tokyo. And yes, this is going to contain major spoilers. But yeah, I kind of felt bad for the city of Tokyo getting eaten up by the Great Abandon. And I thought that's kind of stupid. However, it was really stupid that that one of the characters sacrificed themselves for the offering of the fusion for that person. And it was getting hot in here, so I had to turn the fan on. So they had to offer themselves for a fusion because they were starting a big apocalyptic war. And the unclean ones, such as people in Tokyo, they were all rooting for Lucifer. People in the Eastern Kingdom of Mikado was all for the Merkaba. Merkaba is the chariot of God in this game. And even though God's not even in this game, such as the YHYV, in other words, Yehovah, he's not in the existence no more. In Shin Megami Tensei II, he's dead. And Satan, along with him, is also dead. Because the main character in that game chose the chaotic neutral. And, well, the character in the first game chose the neutral path, which he didn't give a hell about neither. And, well, the way you look at it, Walter's the peaceful one, and he cares nothing about peace. And throughout the game, I thought he was pretty much a good guy, and Walter was more like that don't care type of guy in the game. He was more like, well, you know what, why did you kill him? He was, why did you spare him? You know, that one part in Kikijo Forest where he was facing Izakar, his best friend, the main character's best friend, and I just kind of let him spare him because, well, I don't want to kill him because, well, he was the main character's best friend and everything. So, on through, the main character knows what he did best. It's your choice, pretty much. When it got to the part, I was like, oh shit. The part where Jonathan and Walter cross swords one another. And that what begins the entire apocalyptic thing. Jonathan liked it in the sky. He liked Tokyo, but it was not his type of place to live in. But it was Walter's kind of place because, well, in the part where you're in the Inferno Tokyo, Walter says, well, this is my kind of place. Yeah, no rules and everything. Just perfect. I'm like, actually, that's what chaos is. It's about freedom and equality between the powerful and the weak. But there is no rules at all. Which was kind of thing that I was like, okay, this is the part where you meet Akira in the Inferno one part of Tokyo. He's like, well, I don't believe in the rules at all, so I think I shall let it burn, not burn, or just take over each city or wherever. And I was like, that's kind of strange. And well, at least Jonathan thanked him for. I wish you can be the best on making this being king of this city because well, Kenji was king, and you got to go kick Kenji's ass. And there's a chance part of the game where because these white men are trolling you around, trying to get you to believe in them. They believe in nothing less well. I got that ending first, and I was like, well, I think this is not a very good ending because they wound up killing everything. So I fought Kenji again. You know what? I didn't have a problem with Kenji at all. People on GameFAQs were like, he's too hard. And I'm like, the trick is, find a demon that has Tetrakarn. You apply Tetrakarn, debuff the hell out of him, and buff your stats up because, well, if he hits your entire party, he's taking quadruple damage of 700 to his face. And whatever you do not grab the key or the remote thing, because he would trick you into, well, yeah. He was pretty easy. Had no problem whatsoever. I was over-leveled. I was over-leveled in this game a lot. Because I was out doing these missions and demon hunted and doing whatever, you know, but when the part of the game came where you're like it is kind of dark here though. I'm turning some light on. Here we go. So yeah, it is kind of dark in here. Yeah. But right at the end, you started going to these two places of Tokyo that's one just out in the desert and one that's Inferno. And I still got that music in my head when you're in class something where you first met Akira in Inferno. That'd be pretty cool though. I like how they did it. It was like always, Shin Megami Tensei games have a heavy metal feel to it and a goth feel. That's why I enjoy these soundtracks a lot. But the soundtrack itself, the one that came with the edition box, the reincarnation sounds like something that Malice Modra did, something that Mana composed, which I don't know, it feels kind of bland. It's mostly organ. Might add some guitars or whatever, but it was a 10-minute track. So, yeah. um, around at the end of the game, it was the part where you you finally found which guy you sided with. Depends on what your choices and actions in the game were. If you added, I think each of these represent 2 points for the law or chaos. But to get neutral in the game, you must have a total of points of 8 and a negative 8, and you must do all missions to get neutral. And once when you beat Kenji, and when you destroy the status quo, and when you see Steven on the wheelchair, the guy from the first and second game, I think, he'll come and talk to you, and that's when you know that you got neutral. And you gotta have certain demons or whatever, cause neutral's pretty hard to get in these games. And in the Shin Megami Tensei timeline, the game history of it, I didn't think Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne came in third. I think this game was the third one in the timeline, or something like that. Shin Megami Tensei III was more modern. It was in a modern setting, the first part of the game, then it went to all apocalyptic, you know? It was, so when I got to the final area, Lucifer's Palace, when I chose Law, the music and everything was so fucking, awesome. I like how he did the, has that goth feel to it, and that place was amazing. I swear to God, I thought I was never going to get out of it. You know, at one point, you know, I saved my data at one part when I got to the doors in the top of the building. I saved my data. When I walked in that one part of the building and I didn't got to where I was supposed to be, I loaded my data back and went and tried different doors, and eventually I got to the top of the place. And once you face each final boss has 2 forms. So yeah, Lucifer had 2 forms. One form, well, his first form was easy, even though he was using Evil Shin, which just means you can't use your character. So yeah, he can debuff your characters by using Debilitate. And I had Lustful Candy and Debilitate things in my party. So I used Lustful Candy like 3 times, which, if you have Lustful Candy, then if you try to use Debilitate on you, then it won't affect you really. Like, if you have Lustful Candy on someone for 3 turns, like, everything is full. So, if you use Debilitate for your party, just use Lustful Candy. Pretty simple. And I had over 5 beads, like 5 bead rings, where I revived my whole entire party's HP. I didn't revive any of my party's MP. I was just attacking, charge, attack, charge, attack, charge using whatever strong attack I had. I had Hades Blast, which was, I got through quickly around the game with, because Hades Blast was just so damn powerful attack that you could learn from a certain demon in the game with whispering skills. I'm like, well, the hero himself had Debilitate and Lustful Candy, which are just the biggest and greatest stat skills in the game. 2 best skills in the game to have. And with those, you can make any boss fight just stack blame easy. Even though after beating the game, you've seen the ending, which you die, and they make a big statue of you in the Eastern Kingdom of Takata if you chose the law. Even though, once you try to cross the law path, and Isabeau knows what you're doing, and you're not only going to try to tell you, which, hey, that was kind of wrong. But even though, if you choose Chaos, I just found that, well, she dies anyway, along with it. And Neutral, I think she stays alive. Neutral ending is the only part of the game that she stays alive in. So, I think Neutral is the best way to go in this game. I have to say, Chaos must be better, must be a good and better ending. Has to be, though. But, speaking of Isabeau, so many people on GameFAQs saying, oh, do you eventually get to fuck Isabeau at the end of the game? I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you people who draw fantasies about Isabeau, I'm like, I'm sorry, but people are just weird these days. I'm like, they would just do anything just to see a certain character in an anime or video game from Japan, like, just completely naked. Well, that's just pretty weird by people saying I'm GameFAQs. So, once you beat the game, you get a new game plus. You got one where you don't want to continue with all things or whatever. You can just start brand new. Or, you can reincarnate your life. In other words, you get to start with everything that you gotten from the game into a brand new whole game. So, that's pretty badass. So, what I have to say is, yeah, I might play through this game another time. And if y'all guys don't know what the code for in the reverse hillside was, if y'all was confusing, the date was in the 1700s, but actually it was in the 1600s. The code is, I don't know if you can see that, but the code is actually 1603. 1603. 1603. 1603. That was the code. That's where you face that one boss that killed you earlier, and that one guy saying, Yasamagato! And I was like, you got anything else to say besides that? And he's like, Yasamagato! Damn, dude. I'm gonna have a tic tac. You actually get to fuse him. Wow. So, yeah. That's kind of all I have to say here in this video, my final impressions. But, one thing I have to say about the law is, well, the law point of view of the game, look, I'll say fuck it. Do not get law. Just don't. It's horrible. If you do, then, well, you'd be killing Tokyo. If you got chaos, well, you would just be going, you're gonna go against your god and your creator. And if you just get neutral, then you're pretty lucky then. Because that's kind of hard to get. I think I'm gonna get neutral on my third playthrough. Second, I'm just gonna get chaos. Because I just want to see what the final dungeon for the chaos part. So, yeah. Thank you for watching my final impressions video. Before I do that, I didn't know what I was going to say though, but it was going to be something about the game. Yeah, what about the unclean ones? I think they deserved a better life than the ones with the Mikados, and love something such as Light Warriors. I'm like, why can't you make the people in Tokyo feel a lot more better? Because it's, hey, here's a good, better question. Just go ahead and clean the whole entire Tokyo and invade the demons and just let the people. I'm like, how about build another huge setting up to Tokyo? You know, I'm like, no, they say the unclean ones are nothing but death. Death my ass. Death my asses. Game wards. That's all I gotta say about it. You know. You can post response, video response of your impressions of the game. I have, seen Corn Muffins, impressions on it before the game was out in America. So, when he said this game was easy, if y'all have experienced these Shin Megami Tensei games, then well, you have no problem with this one because this one's just a breather. This was easy. It is an easy game. I'm not kidding. For the newcomers of the series, it is pretty hard. Trust me. It is pretty hard at some points. But if you just look at this book, you might get through it. If y'all need help, you can just comment below the video. I will love to help you to get some parts of the game, like how you defeat this demon, what skills should I get, something like that. It won't. It's not that bad for newcomers if they pre-order this and they got the book, like I did. The first part of the game, my first playthrough, was like, oh man, I'm getting my ass kicked through the first few battles of the game. I'm like, and I set it on easy. I was like, damn. It was pretty hard though. It had the exact same setting feel like in Nocturne. And you know how in Nocturne that you start fighting these demons and you get your damage taken off by damage of 10 for the first part of the game? Well, if you set it on easy mode, you don't get that damage hurt that much done. So, I played through Nocturne in the normal setting. Don't get me wrong at all, but it was hard. Even the old ones, the Super Famicom, were even hard. I had a hard time playing those, actually, until I kind of got used to the feel of it. When practicing, I feel a lot more better. I feel a lot more better if I was grinding for the first few parts of the game. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm back to go here now. Playing the first and second games. This one, you could finish this one within like a good 40-something hours. It ain't that long. In Nocturne, it took me a long time because I did a lot of side quests. I completed Nocturne within like 70-something hours. The first and second games took me about like 40-something hours. Second one took me like a good 50 hours. It depends how you play through the game, though. And if it's giving you a hard time, then the game is going to give you a hard time because it's a challenge. These games are a challenge. So yeah, I actually completed the first and second games like last year during the summer when I was out of school. Both games took me like a month to complete. I wasn't playing this on emulator. I had my Dreamcast. as I said, a friend from school was selling Dreamcast games, and I said, "Yeah, can I borrow this?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." I'm gonna bring it back to me whenever you're done. I'm like, cool. Like he had a whole list of Super Nintendo games on that disc, and when I found that SMT 1 and 2 was on there, you know what, fine, I'm gonna go play the fan translation. That was fun. They were fun though. Okay, from all the games I played in the series before I end the video, I have to say that the best one so far I've played. I know after playing all three of the games, and when the fourth game was coming, I was like, well, you know what? Nocturne was my favorite. And about this one, Nocturne and this one, I don't know. I don't know which one's good. I think the I think they're both great. I think they're both my favorites in the series. I don't know which one's the best though. Either Nocturne or this one. It's hard to explain because you don't have no idea which one's better. Storyline and graphics, everything accordingly. It's hard to decide though. It's just hard. I say fuck it. They're both good, okay? Just play them both. I'm like, I don't care. It's just they're just good. They're good in a way. So bye. I'll see y'all later, and thank you for enjoying the video. I like to hear your comments down below. Your response or what. So this will be my final impressions video finally. So thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all later.